try this new system of doing things.
That sounded like Tone Loc. Let's
It
do it.
says we're live, but I'm not. You guys keep track of the.
Let's do it.
Keep track of the online. Since I'm having to use this new thing, I don't know if this is actually accurate. So check out the channel and see if we're live.
Okay, boss.
Are we live? Somebody said they late.
Not yet.
I'm waiting. We're
live.
Now it is. Well, I'm getting an ad.
Oh,
what game are you playing? Ooh, Star Wars Battlefront.
That's some Battlefront. That's some Battlefront 2 action running on the Xbox One X with our little buddy
Welcome
Obi.
to RDX. I'm your host, Colt Eastwood.
Shut up, Colt! I'm giving Obi-Wan a shout out.
I thought this was a show about Stadia. What the fuck?
The Stadia cast. Hey, welcome to RDX podcast, guys. We already got almost 400 people watching already. We got a lot of great topics today. A phenomenal panel. And, of course, sit back, relax, grab a drink. And, hey, thanks for rocking out with us. Hit that like button, share us out, and help us out a little bit. We do appreciate it. We got a great panel, great topics. Battlefront 2 gameplay running on the Xbox One X today. Me and my buddy Obi-Wan, we're going to try to get some more people playing this because this mode's pretty fun. But, again, guys, thanks for what you do. We're going to get into some shout-outs, panel stuff, and then we'll get into some topics. A ton of great stuff today. Colt Eastwood, another show, another week, another exposed video. How you been?
What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Colt Eastwood, coming to you live from the pandemic. No, I'm just kidding. I can't stand when people do that.
The pandy?
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me on. It's like 93 degrees. We're in Coltsville, and it's nice to be inside doing this podcast and the air conditioning.
It's 93 degrees inside of the McDonald's dumpster where Colt Eastwood's at. We've also got the Grounded Gamer, a.k.a. Fonzarelli, a.k.a. Fraudarelli, a.k.a. Fuckfacerelli. How you been?
Hey, what's up? It's good to be here in this pandy. So it's great. It's great to be here.
We've also got Wilmy Hood. Welcome for coming on. Welcome to coming back on the show, Wilmy Hood. How you been?
Thank you, sir. I am so glad Colt allowed you to have me back on his show again. It's been a while since I've been here. It's been what, maybe 2 or 3 months.
The last time Wilmy has come on the show.
Yeah, it's been a while. So I'm glad to be back, and let's talk about some Stadia.
You been good though? We're not talking about Stadia. You been good though?
Oh yeah, dude. No complaints.
All right. We also got the man who's been a little. I saw this motherfucker on a milk cart the other day. Tin Dog is back. He missed the pair show because we had to push it back a day, and then the week after it was a special thing. But welcome back, brother. It's great to have you back.
Yeah, missed the show. Happy to be here. Heard we broke some records while I was gone, which is great to hear. Everyone's showing up and listening to the show. But, I'm back and, make a streak now. Get on a streak. Missed the show definitely for 2 weeks. Happy to be here.
Well, hopefully it's not a shit streak. Let's have a great show today. We did hit 3,000 watching last week, guys. If you missed it, we had 3,000 people in the chat. And, that show's already almost 60,000 listeners, in a week. So you guys, again, make this one of the biggest podcasts in the world, not just one of the, if not the biggest Xbox podcast in the world. So thank you guys for what you do. Zalker, how you been, buddy?
Sure. Doing pretty good. It's good to be back. I just have one question for the chat and everybody. What does Mixer and Ranch Channel have in common? They're dead.
For one, that's not even accurate anymore.
I know. I'm sorry. I had to, though. It's been a while.
And hey, let me give a shout out. I want to come back to D-Bash here in a second, but I'll give a shout out to Nano Polymath. He said, Wildcats, a dog, and a bunch of crazy animals in the chat. Yes, they are. What could possibly go wrong? Thank you so much, Nano. We do appreciate it, buddy. And everyone who does super chats, all the channel members, all the patrons, all you guys rock. Every patron's up in the scroll above, and we'll do shout-outs here in a second. But D-Batch, how you been, brother? It's good to have you back on another show. My favorite Canadian. And he said, fuck y'all. I'm the most
Someone has had way too much caffeine today, haven't they, folks?
The most talented.
Hey, that's called a little charisma, Wilmy. Why don't you find some?
Okay.
Wilmy, where's D-Batch? All right, he's gone.
I think Wilmy's got him in the basement.
He does. He's got him in the basement. Hopefully you guys can mine Will D-Batch to life.
He said he can't unmute Discord, so he needs to close it and reopen it.
Try slamming your computer on the ground, D-Batch. Let us know if that works. Shout out to 1,000 people listening to this fumble around like idiots. Do also got to give a shout out to some patrons here. D, if you end up getting back in here and able to speak, just interrupt us and let us know. Hey, shout out to my patron tier. The shout out tier. If you want to join, link down below. Updates around the 5th of every month. So if we got some in there that aren't on this list, that's because I haven't updated yet. Snake Eye, shout out to you, buddy. Assassin Lupa, we're watching Vice together. She's really cool. Alec Gamer 4, with Frost did that shit. Tony Stark RDX, KY Bob, Foreign Object, Gab Queest, Teo, John Blue, shout out to John, Beck Boss, everybody. Deviator X, Obi-Wan FTW, Scott Trooper 74, Real Deal Neil, he's been on here forever, man. Shout out to Neil. Suicide King as well. Tasteless Genie, Michael Bowen, Guillermo Cavilla, The Legend, Chanagram, Naughty Nubbin, Alfonso Hogan, A Squad. I saw your DM, buddy. I'm going to get back to you. Slim73, and thank you guys for what you do, again, and every single patron. And you know what? We're going to start with a light topic today. IGN. Actually, this thing's so light, Tim Dog. IGN apparently up to a ton of weird stuff, according to Mitch Dyer. What's happening here? Can you give everyone...
Dealer.
Whoa, I didn't do anything.
What'd you do?
That's a mispronunciation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not good at games. Or games. Oh my god.
Blocked me, by
I
the
didn't
way.
hear
Mitch
anything.
Dyer has me blocked.
What?
And like, yeah, I don't know
Probably 'cause you
why.
drink too much. You probably blocked your ass.
Who is that?
Shut up, dealer.
Should I know who this person is?
Mitch Dyer of IGN, Tim Dog. What has happened? Can you break down the story in a fast manner?
Well, I could say what's going on. Basically, Mitch Dyer he's saying that he was forced into telling a story that wasn't true about Neil Druckmann and Staley. I think he was the other guy that was a developer, about Amy Henning. They basically made a fake story and they pushed it, and he felt that like his job would be on the line if he didn't tell the story. And supposedly once it came out, then they had to retract it or whatever. And
What was this
basically
story
IGN
like?
was
What do you mean?
worried. Well, I'm trying to get his exact quotes, because it is definitely in.
They said Neil
involved.
Druckmann's man bone is fake. What's going on?
Well, I think they told they were pushed to tell a story that wasn't true, and there were, several times. One with The Last Guardian that was being canceled, which was not true, and the other one was basically these three executives pushed him to run a story that Amy Henning was basically pushed out of her thing as a writer. And there's basically all types of bullshit going on.
So they basically pushed out stories that they knew were not accurate, and
correct. And then they when they doubled, they didn't want to double down on it. They basically were worried that Sony would get wind of it, and they basically kind of
Threw him under the bus.
And he was, they don't make that much money, but he still had a job and he still was worried about his job. So he didn't really come out. Today he came out. You could check his tweets out. It'll definitely tell the story a little bit better than I did.
And the narrative is that they did this to protect Sony's interests or some crap, or
right. Well, they didn't want Sony to get wind of the story, so they kind of threw him under the bus.
Wow.
They even said they didn't. They wanted to protect. This is quote, protect their relationship with Sony. And, that was the thing that I took from it. There's been times where people had said that IGN was biased, and, a lot of the stuff that they pushed was definitely fanboy stuff. And, a lot of people noticed it definitely in the 2013 to like 17 area. They were really bad pushing that stuff. And it was a lot of it was against Xbox, and a lot of it was they would put Sony on a pedestal. They definitely put one of the biggest people pushing the resolution wars, which was big back then. And they did stuff like this. Now this was against Sony, but they just obviously Sony was the hot ticketed item, so they just made up stories. And they made up another story about Last Guardian being canceled. If you remember that, they ran that story, and everyone knew it was fake, but they still were pushing it. The three executives that have been pointed out, let me get their names. It's Steve Butts.
Oh, Steve Butts. God damn, Steve Butts.
And Tal Blevins, they said, are responsible for creating an unsafe and toxic work environment that torpedoed his mental health.
Torpedo Steve Butts?
Yeah, so basically he was afraid for his job. They were telling him to say things or push stories that really weren't true. just because they wanted clicks. And
Jeez.
we always talk about the clicks and stuff like this, but this stuff, if you really look at the stuff that went on, they're basically making fake stories, and they're throwing people like Neil Druckmann under the bus, and saying things that are untrue just to get clicks, because they knew people would, they knew that Naughty Dog was a hot topic. They knew that, basically, let's say, hey, let's make up a story somebody say, hey, let's make up a story about RDX and just completely make it up. And, they put it out there, and they're a big publication, as you know.
It reminds me of Resetter.
Yeah, well, but this is pretty bad, though.
And it was
honestly. Go on.
Good. So it was from the years 2012 to 2016, almost 2017, which was that like, and I wasn't here in the community for that. And I wasn't here in the community for that, but I know that was some of the most toxic times in gaming, because people were just going at each other's throats, and they didn't just do that. Like, apparently, like, they made it seem like Neil Druckmann pushed her out. There was a power struggle within Naughty Dog, and Sony got really mad at that because it wasn't like that.
Say my man Neil suplexed Amy through a table. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, basically what they're saying. Yeah, they're saying that, and then not to mention like those. I think it's the same executives. Like a bunch of former IGN people are coming out, like women, saying that they were telling them, "Well, you need to wear a push-up bra. You need to wear.
You're not hot enough to put it on the camera.
They should have just got us out
front
there.
of the camera." It's like, damn. It's like, well, that sounds like a fucking awesome place to live, to work. And
it was
weird.
Moral of the story is, be glad you don't work at IGN today, folks.
Yeah, or rather, however many
Back
years.
then,
I got to give a shout out real quick to Chaos Mike. He says, hit the like button. Keep it real. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, we got over 1,500 people already watching. Guys, hit the like button. We do appreciate it. Gamebred, too, because his first count is broke. He says,
okay, Dino, you can hit the button now. I'm on air.
I think one sec, D. Gamebred2 says, here's some big bucks, all caps, for the best gaming podcast around. Love RDX and all you guys do for the community. Great, or can't wait for the July show. Oh my God, yes, we're gonna definitely probably get into that. And Gamebred, brother, do appreciate it, man. Do appreciate it. And then we've got another one just popped up real quick. Cheesy McSqueezy, one of the top 5 names. Y'all heard Insomniac being accused of... Oh, wow. You're talking about some grown-up shit right now. Yeah, we try to keep all this, that kind of stuff off the verbal side of things. All right, we've been clipped before, and you know how people are in this community. But, yeah, there's some weird things going on all around the industry, and, we don't want to get too specific.
Happens in almost every workplace. So when somebody says such and such studio is getting blamed for, or getting alleged this, like... These are a couple of horrible employees, and unfortunately, they're everywhere.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah.
That's very true.
D-Batch, we're glad you made it in, though, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for not starting the show without me. I appreciate it.
Oh, man.
Got all the kinks out.
We'd run 20 minutes late if we waited for you.
I see you guys were talking about the secret Naughty Dog dungeon parties, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes, in the bottom of a Baskin-Robbins. IGN is doing some weird things, and
even Xbox now with Halo. There's a whole thing with Frankie that just propped up, and it's being pushed that he sexually groomed a girl. Yeah, it's really involved. But I can tell you that Microsoft is definitely looking into it. But also, there's two sides of the story. I don't know why Ground is going crazy, but there's two sides of the story with that, and there's a lot of things that you could see publicly for yourself that the accuser is saying that not really the most normal stuff. So, you got to also realize, sometimes this is just open season now. A lot of people are coming out, which is good, but there are also going to be cases that just people are coming out too, just because.
That's why it's important to be innocent until proven guilty, right?
Exactly. So the stuff with Frankie, like I said, it's definitely being looked into, taken seriously. But it's definitely an unfortunate situation. And
Mr. Deadly Boots, Tim Dog. Mr. Deadly Boots says, any idea how deep the Xbox July event will be? How far back, Tim Dog? You want to give people a little clue?
Everyone asks me this. I have no idea when they're going to have the show.
I've heard something. I don't know what you've heard. But yeah,
The only thing I've heard is that it could possibly be mid-July or to late. But that's all I've heard. It could be the second week, which I believe is the 13th to the 20th. That week could possibly be odd. You can pick any one of those days from Sunday to Saturday. Most likely, I would think it could be a middle of the week thing, or it could be a Monday thing. Usually, Microsoft likes to push out big stuff on the news cycle on a Monday. So you'll basically, I would say, look in that area. I don't think it's going to be next week or whatever July 4th is. I think they're going to stay away from that.
Yeah,
it's definitely going to be after that.
For Freedom Day, don't fuck around.
A lot of companies are taking a lot of next week off. A lot of tech companies, including mine. Like I'm getting like most of the week off.
Hey Zachary, you want to tell us about how Mixer took the week off forever?
Mixer took off a couple years, so you need to calm down. And Facebook's going to save them now. Okay, stop it.
So what's the deal with Mixer, and how come you actually thought it would be a viable platform to stream one for a while?
Because I enjoyed the platform and I enjoyed the community. For some people, it's nice.
So what's going on with Mixer? Why is it? What happened?
Basically, from what I heard, apparently it's been going on for a few months. I talked to some people that still streamed on there and we're partnered. And apparently during this whole pandy, like Facebook's streaming service of gaming grew like 200%, 250%. Twitch grew like a shit ton, and then Mixer grew like
about 1%,
2%.
And one of those was Mikey
one
Barr.
person, and it was Ninja.
And one of those was me logging in because I forgot my password.
Hey, shout out to Morgan real quick. By the way, he says he or she says hello from France. Everybody, one of the best podcasts in the world. It's 2 a.m. here in my country. Thank you so much. He says I wake up my wife every time. Oh my God, that's horrible. Let her sleep.
Wake her up. It's RDX.
Almost 1,900 people watching live, by the way, guys. If you haven't already hit that like button, share it out, help us out a little bit. We do appreciate it, guys, and shout out to everybody who check it out after the fact. Zachary, you're saying that you and Mike Ibarra watched Mixer together. That was the only growth you'd seen during the whole pandy, and they're like, we got to shut this shit down.
Yeah, pretty much. And so I knew they've been doing this for I think since January is what the rumor was, that they've been trying to look for a partner, and I think they just wanted to cut ties. It does suck for the people that worked on there for years and were partnered and did make a living there, and now they have to start basically all over. And that does suck, but at the same time, it just wasn't. They tried their best, right? They got Ninja, they got all these people to go there, and it just wasn't working. The platform inherently was just not doing well.
There was people on there that made a living on there on Mixer.
They never said that they lived outside of a box. I mean, you didn't say they had like a.
I mean, these people had like hundreds of thousands of followers on there, man.
What?
I mean, there
wasn't that many on Mixer in general.
They made tens and tens of dollars.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. All I see is a $67 million L. Now Ninja is free to go back on Twitter. On Twitch. He's going to be back on Twitch tonight. And that $67 million, he's like fucking laughing right now. Unbelievable.
That's
man.
a damn decently sized game, D-Bash.
Listen, I'm not gonna hate. I'm not gonna hate on Ninja getting his money. The dude's been streaming for like 10 years and works hard at what he does.
I think that's more of an L for Microsoft. He's saying.
Oh, it's a fat L, but let that guy get his money.
Was that guaranteed money?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, shout out to Death Dealer, Death Dealer 167, Death Dealer 167. Funny enough, that's how I got my name. That was my gamer tag. He says best damn podcast ever. RDX emoji, dealer emoji. Yeah, if you're a channel member, you got some custom emojis there. Thanks to those that are channel members. Nightwolf, by the way, says best. God, we're getting a lot of damn best podcast messages here. Best podcast RDX. Congrats on the 3K last time. Also, Fonz is a fucking moron. I hate him. Okay, no, that's the comment below it. Fonz had a great Tim Dog scream. Yeah, he did. I got scared. And we don't.
Yeah, like you can hear it in your voice. You're like, oh.
I was like, he really did, Tim. You'd be proud. Like, you would think there's definitely some domestic violence going on there. So, yeah, again, shout out to everybody.
Jesus.
Shout out to everybody. You motherfuckers ain't that sensitive. Come on, it's a damn joke. Cold Eastwood, I want to know your thoughts on this big ass L.
On my toenails.
Yeah, big Mixer L. What are your thoughts on this?
Microsoft's not doing very well. Some of these programs they're just kind of canceling and fizzling out. So I don't know what it is.
Accurate assessment.
Everyone asks me what my take on it, but I don't watch streaming. I don't stream. If I want to see something, I watch stuff from official sources, like from the game developers when they show their games off. I don't know. I don't have a vested interest in this, and it's a Microsoft thing.
What do you mean? You gotta have an opinion on the fucking debacle.
My
that was
opinion
Mixer.
is that I would hope that this would bring YouTube streaming to the console, to the Xbox console. And I mean, you and I've been on Mixer and had a good time. We could have done the same thing on Twitch, but I mean, Mixer is just works fine and great, and they just didn't run it well enough.
They could have just bought Twitch, right? But they didn't.
They should have. Yeah.
They're like, let's go ahead and buy Beam, and then we'll turn Beam into Mixer. But we know that Terry Myerson was there, and he's like, hey, where's my money?
Yeah, and the other thing that we haven't really elaborated on is they wanted Mixer to be the doorway from Xcloud, like Stadia does, how you could be watching someone Mixer stream the next Assassin's Creed game and load it right into Xcloud and play it directly from a Mixer watching a stream. Load the game right in from Xcloud without installing, without having it installed, without, just buy it and go, or play it through Xcloud.
We got another Canadian joining us, Colt. Viber XD, shout out to the panel from Ontario, Canada. Greatest podcast. Happy to join. Thank you so much, sir. Colt, you're saying that you love Mixer and you thought it was a great plan, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you and I had fun on Mixer, but I don't know. Microsoft just didn't do it right, I guess. And then they had these allegations and these complaints, and when people get brave enough to speak up and they feel like they're not going to get squashed by their superiors, or HR is not going to ignore them, even more voices will come out and say, man, if they spoke up, I can finally say something. I have the courage. And these things just kind of implode, and we're seeing it stretch across other companies. And,
I mean, the Ninja thing got people talking, but ultimately it didn't do anything to, it wasn't exactly an EpiPen, right?
And he was still like, if you look at the numbers of like the percentage of viewers he got on Twitch, he was still getting that percent for the amount of viewers on Mixer. Like Mixer just doesn't have a lot of viewers. That's just what it is. The thing I see a positive of this is that they didn't just like wipe it off. They actually tried with getting Ninja, paying big money to like actually make the platform work. Like they didn't just give up. And that's what I see as a positive, is that like, all right, they invested in it, didn't work, and now they're kind of, I guess, partnering with Facebook. And maybe when you were talking that Xcloud stuff, like, or whatever you were saying, Colt, with like maybe they see a game, buy it. Maybe they'll have that on Facebook where you can just directly go and get it through there.
That's planned.
That's not good.
Tim said that's planned.
Well, what's basically what's going on here is that they knew Mixer. They pretty much, it was done before, I would say, in February or right before the COVID. So they were in talks with, I believe, Facebook since then. But they did try. But the fact of the matter is the viewership was dead last, even behind YouTube Gaming, which just started out a year ago. So it was dead last, and it was underperforming. There were not many popular, Twitch people. There wasn't. They just didn't have, creators other than who they brought in to try to push it that did well, that got views. So it was a failing proposition. They tried it. But one of the things that they wanted Colt to talked about was, they call it instant click gaming, and it was shown with Stadia, and they're looking to have it. It was in the blog for Instagram. So basically what you'll do is you'll see a game immediately, and you can click on that link, and it'll make you say, do you want to play the game via Xcloud? And you could buy that game and instantly play, stream, do the things that Stadia was basically propping up. And they just simply didn't have the base with Mixer to do something like that. So that's where Facebook and Instagram came in. They have a huge user base that is going to basically be able to do this. So that was the buy-in from them, and they basically gave up. And a lot of people were like, well, it's on the Xbox. The fact of the matter is that Mixer was a big Satya thing. Satya believed that this was going to be huge, and he threw a lot of money at Mixer. Are we talking about let's just not even talk about Ninja. You're talking about almost $1 billion, even maybe more, put
Cheese.
into Mixer.
Satya had too much cheese that day or something.
And, it was a thing that Microsoft put a lot of money into, not necessarily it wasn't affecting Xbox. It was just a belief that they thought that this could be the Twitch and it would be it would get off its feet. But, I had heard even through a lot of people in the inner channels that they just were done with Mixer. They tried everything. They could not get any kind of penetration in the market. They could not. You're talking about like 2% or like 3%. Like they just didn't have
There's
people.
Just no
watching
real incentive to go to Mixer.
Exactly.
And even the low latency feature that Beam was touting was just mimicked instantly. I got to give a few shout outs here. The finest. Shout out to you, buddy. We can't remember. Hey, it's good to see you in the chat, brother. We've also got.
He's cool. Like we get to talk to him. He messages me, and I'm sure he messages you a lot, and pushes a lot of news that we may have missed. Like it.
Yeah.
I really appreciate.
Yeah,
it.
he's awesome.
He does.
Zelo. I don't know. Zealot. Femto. I don't know how to pronounce that, but he says, "Bless y'all hearts for this podcast. You all have educated me so much with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X that as a result, some of my friends will get a Series X day one, and we'll wait for a PS5 Pro later." Thank you so much, sir. Do appreciate it, man. I mean, hey, if people can get whatever they want, I'm getting both day one myself, but hey, patient gamer. He says Last of Us 2 is not a masterpiece. 7 out of 10 at best. Oh, fine. Patient gamer. He paid $10 to take a dump on Neil Druckmann. And then we got another one here, I think. Shout out to Nano Polymath as well. I saw one from him earlier saying that there was no emoji for patrons or something. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not built into YouTube at all. KY Bob, he says, love the podcast. You guys keep it real. He says, duck the haters, quack. He says, I can't wait for the July event. Halo Infinite. KY Bob always fucking maxing out these characters in these super chats. Halo Infinite gameplay running in the Subspace engine will be more than unreal. Yes, it will look phenomenal. Those guys are still touting it.
Unintended.
It's one of the most advanced game engines of all time, man. Viper XT again. He says, I would rather Microsoft close Mixer if it's not paying off and invest more money into gaming. Yes, I do believe. I believe that I agree with you, sir. Star-Lord.
And we believe you believe.
Course.
Last one, Star-Lord. He says, anyone think Microsoft would be interested in part of WB Games? ? Would that basically, would they be able to buy that? You think, Wilmy Hood? I mean, come on, I need to get your opinion on something here.
Oh, I've been waiting for you to come to me.
Come on, Wilmy Hood. Now's your shot.
So Warner Brothers Games, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, well, could Microsoft buy him?
Oh, they could. I mean, they blew billions on Mixer, so why the hell not, right? And then they just turned everybody on Mixer over to Facebook, which is just that's just brutal, dude. I mean, I'm an evil person sometimes, but I'm not even that damn evil. That's just cold-hearted.
That's a little fucked up.
Yeah, but does Batman and all this other stuff come along with this deal, or is that...
That's the question, though, right? Like, you get the game studios, the buildings, the teams, the employees, but do you get the licenses for the IP?
So maybe that's the reason they are not announcing anything for buying Warner Brothers yet.
Well, they're waiting for DC Fandom. That thing's coming out in August.
Shout out to you, buddy.
So they're waiting for that to come out, where they're going to show pretty much like the Warner Brother games that they've been working on, including multiple like DC property games. And the way they're doing this is that basically a company like, let's say Microsoft or Take-Two or whoever's, EA is in there to buy them, will get the studios, but also will get collaboration with Warner Brothers and their games. So their IP, like Batman or whatever, Suicide, whatever they're going to make. And the reason why Warner Brothers is doing that,
they would have Compulsion make the next Batman game.
Oh God!
Oh my God!
What are your thoughts, Zelker? Who would make it?
No. Well, no, it would be.
I know the teams come with them. I know.
Yeah, the teams will come with them. But the thing that Warner Brothers does a lot, and you can see it easily, is that they really do go off of what games and comic books and animated movies do in order to facilitate what the live action is going to do. So like they really do, like Rocksteady, like really helped like pioneer what Harley Quinn looks like now from her Arkham like games and stuff because she looked amazing in that, and it went really well in the animated. Like they take a lot, they collaborate a lot with Rocksteady and all those studios. So that's what I think is going to happen. Is some studio is going to get them, and then what publisher gets them is going to be working with Warner Brothers on multiple IPs, and they're just going to license it out and make money. And then Warner Brothers doesn't have to pay for the studio; they don't have to pay the salaries of the people working there or the travel or anything. Yeah, it's all going to go on those people, and they're going to get these amazing IPs that they can work on.
Let's hope it's not EA, right?
Let's just hope it's no one that we heard was interested. Greg Clark, by the way, says, R.I.P. Mixer. Mixer was good, but good isn't good enough when you're going up against juggernauts like Twitch. Thank you so much, sir. I do appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, the Warner Bros. Thing is pretty cool, by the way. Got to shout out to almost 2,200 people watching live, guys. Already hit that like button if you haven't. A lot of likes already, guys. Do appreciate it. Let's try to crush 1,000 for the end of the show and share this out. Tell your grandma about us. You never know. She might be into gaming.
Well, also, hold on, dude. I've got to run to the cemetery real quick. I'll tell grandma.
Okay, that's a little.
Oh damn!
It's a little dark for me.
It's got dark as hell.
Fonzarelli, real quick. We got a ton of great topics coming up. Series X stuff, Bill Spencer. But we did want to cover real quick some of the biggest news that happened in the last several days. It'd be a crime if we didn't. Cyberpunk delayed. Brought to you by the most recommended Cyberpunk YouTuber around, Fonzarelli. Tell us a little bit of details here.
Say it was the most. Yeah, not the most recommended, but I'm out there. And yes, I'm covering Cyberpunk a lot. And yeah, the delay is here till November 19th now. Unfortunately, we have to wait that long.
November 19th, Fonz. I'm done with this game now. I'm sure you've seen that in the comments.
I got a lot of people that are saying, yeah, I'm done with this game. I can't stand any more delays. All of a sudden, the game is trash to some people. But you know what? Delays
The game is trash because it got delayed.
Especially when they're saying, hey, we want to work out all the bugs, we want to work out all the kinks and balance the game better, and you're going to trash them for doing that? I mean, in a day and age where we get nothing but like buggy games all the time, like praise these people that delay games for reasons like that, you know? Especially with CD Projekt Red, these guys are just known masters at their craft. Let them do their magic, and it'll be here November 19th. But real quick, one of the things with this delay is there's a rumor going around that it was because of VR. Nonsense. That they're not going to hold back this game from the consoles that we have now for VR. And I talk about that in my latest video too, and give you reasons why it's there. But it's just ridiculous.
Hey, Fonz.
Yeah, we got a delay.
Do you think the delay has something to do with the next gen consoles?
Nope, not at all. Not at all. People running with that are ridiculous.
Why would they wait for
people? Okay, why would they delay a game for next gen consoles when everybody's got the consoles now? Like, why would they do that to the people that want to buy it now? Why would they piss off so many people just to wait for those consoles?
I mean, the game is massive. It's so much bigger than a lot of people know, and we're lucky if it's even fully polished by the time it comes out after this delay.
Yeah, I mean, give them time, man. It's CDPR. Why are people like tripping over this? Let them do their thing.
You guys don't agree with me, but I think they want a couple more months extra for polish and get everything tuned up. And maybe they needed one more month, and they thought, how about 2 months, and we can make sure it's ready to rock on the PS5 and Xbox Series X.
That's true.
As well,
I mean, it's not that we don't agree. You're saying they need more time for polish, right? Well, I'm going to agree to disagree.
I mean, we hear a lot of games that get like an extra month of polish, and like that's pretty amazing. But maybe that's what I'm thinking. Maybe they said, well, let's go till November and use a few extra weeks to get it like rocking on the PS5 and Xbox Series X, and then get it ready for the current gen consoles and PC, and all of the work we've been doing for 5 or 6 years will like really be ready for like the full release.
I can't believe how good this damn game is. This game is 3 years old, by the way. I can't believe how good this fucking game looks.
I just got stabbed in the back. A failed pyromancer is out there saying that The Witcher is overrated.
What?
Son, you're overrated, okay? There's no
Remember,
way
you sound like Fonz did a year ago. So,
my gosh, that game is beautiful. One of the best games of the generation. Beats the snot out of The Last of Us 2. Snot out of it.
Come on, Roach.
It's up there with God of War. We got to give a shout out to Ray Martinez Jr. He says, "Hey Tim Dog, I like the fact that you defended yourself from Crap Gamer. Crap Gamer on Twitter." He says, laughing emoji, that shit is delusional. I don't know what was said exactly. But hey, Tim Dog, that was to you.
It was funny. It was
Thank
funny.
you.
And then we've got
Tim wants to tell the story so bad.
Mariah's JHD. I got he said I get investing more in games. Consider Mixer as an investment in gaming culture as a whole. Unfortunately, that shit does not pay dividends, son. He says, like Xcloud and Game Pass, completely different model there. Mixer is an advertising investment, if anything, and maybe you can sell a few games off of it. But man, Joseph, by the way, says, what's best TV for gaming on Series X? Right now, I would have to say it's LG C9 or CX right now. So, I mean, again, whatever.
Let me jump in on this real quick. Sorry. So I saw people posting on Twitter like, oh, if, because of Mixer failing, that Xbox will cut ties or Microsoft will cut ties with Xbox no matter what. And that Game Pass, if it doesn't do like all this stupid shit. Like, first of all, Xbox has already they're touting how great Game Pass is. They didn't really do that with Mixer, guys. They never did that. They never put out numbers and try to showboat anything. They're showboating the 10 million plus now subscribers on Game Pass because it's a success. And they know it is, and they're trying to make it even bigger.
It sounds like you're inside of a refrigerator truck, buddy.
Who, me?
D-Batch, he's like he's up on the mountain with Kratos.
Somebody sounds like the Bane is here or something.
Real quick, I need to say somebody was saying that they're hearing there's no patch for the Series X day one for Cyberpunk. Well, I'm hearing rumors that there will be.
Well, what they've officially confirmed is that they do not have it ready right now.
It's not confirmed right now, but I'm telling you, with this delay and stuff, I think Colt is onto something. I'm hearing rumors that there will be.
The friendly neighborhood Blue Shell. He's feeding into that Cyberpunk joke. He says, hey, dealer, Cyberpunk is trash. He says, how dare they delay my right to play their games? Jokes aside, hey, he said, support for the podcast. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, sir. And then last one for a minute here. We got the Texanite. Shout out to you, buddy. He says, Phil tripped Spencer. Phil tripped Spencer should whip that big Microsoft deal and smack the entire industry in the face by purchasing WB Games and any studio worth purchasing. That's I don't know, man. And shout out to Elemental P.O. says Fonz is man. Shout out to you guys. I don't know. It would be crazy, man. They got so many funds. They got so much money. Phil is doing backflips and gold coins right now. It's just one of those things. Can they allot that kind of money? You know what I'm saying, Tim? Sure, you know what I'm saying. They can't allot that type of money.
They put $2 billion, wherever it was, on Minecraft, which I know it's like one of the biggest games, if not the biggest game in the world. But to put $4 billion down, plus whatever much more it would be, to get like however many studios Warner Brothers has, and then get those IPs. I see it as whoever gets it's going to be great, because they're going to have some of the best IPs in the world to work with, and some of the best talent in the world to work with, and have that under their umbrella is just. I wouldn't mind that. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that someone else is going to get them. But
you think they're going to buy Konami?
I mean,
so weird.
Fucking dick. No, I just think it would be pretty good. And as for the Cyberpunk stuff, the delay, I honestly think sure, it's to polish. I think that's the cute thing to say. But for me, a lot of the stuff that companies do is for marketing and for they think it's the best business wise. I think they moved out of that date and they saw that there isn't that many games coming out in November unless we think Halo. But I think Assassin's Creed's coming October. I think Halo's coming early. But in November, around that time where sales are going on and it's all holiday season, there's not much going out there. So I think Cyberpunk going there would be pretty good for them.
Hey, shout out to Drunken Ninja. He says, watching RDX with my girl. Shout out to her. Hey, shout out to your girl. And tell her to tell her friends to watch the show too. It really helped. But yeah, I think you got a point there, Stalker. I would also say that Colt Eastwood's a fraud. Where the fuck where'd Tim Dog go?
I think he just crashed.
Internet's broken.
The internet's caught on fire.
He was about to say something, and Phil Spencer ripped his internet cord out. Shut up!
Looks over to Phil Spencer chewing his internet cord in half. Hey, D-Batch, did you hear about the fact that they are getting by these 30 FPS and 60 FPS frame rate caps on older titles with Series X? They're using some kind of method to actually get over these frame rates somehow. Did you hear about this?
No, I didn't hear about it.
It sounds like you're eating a yogurt over there. Sounds delicious.
Enlighten me. No, I didn't hear about it.
Well, I mean, I guess I could let Colt talk about it as well. But I mean, yeah, they talked about how Series X has different technologies that can automatically not only up-res things. I don't know if you're using machine learning for this or what, but basically they can patch things without patching things, like the auto HDR, the auto res boost. And now they're actually getting over 30 FPS VSyncs and all this crap they're doing for older titles on select titles that don't break the game. And
Wow.
I want to know what they're doing there.
I have no idea what they're doing, because I know some of these games, the older games at least.
Now
the
we know
frame rate,
D-Batch ain't watching the videos.
I know some of the older games, the frame rate's locked to the animations and stuff. So, when you do speed it up, you get that janky looking motion. So the only thing that makes sense to me is machine learning. So, to be honest with you.
So you're saying Skynet's doing it?
Maybe.
That's hot. Tim Dung, are you back, buddy?
Everybody's
It's
dying
like I'm in a
today. What the
fucking
hell's going
cemetery
on?
right now. What's up?
Can you hear me? I had to go on my phone. My whole network just dropped.
Wow. Yeah, I was just making sure you were there, seeing if you were alive. Making sure the old Tim's there.
Yeah, no, I heard what you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty amazing. You're going to see titles 60 frames going to 120, 30 frames going to 60.
How do you think they're doing that?
I do not know. I've asked, but I think that they're kind of.
Well, and it's also adding. It's not just the frames, right? They're
Thank
also
you,
adding like HDR and stuff, right?
Yeah.
To some of these games, like that's insane. Like, and they're never gonna tell you how they did this. This is like crazy, basically script programming in the background that they're doing to do this, and they're not gonna let that go out. Like they're gonna keep that in house until somebody can emulate it. Then they'll make it open source when somebody starts kind of figuring out how they did it.
Well, they did say the machine learning they
investment.
want to make it for everybody. They did say like how they're resing low res textures in real time, right? They said this is something we want to provide to everybody because it's such a game changer. It keeps file sizes down. They could have just kept that to themselves, but they're not really. You know what I'm saying? Microsoft's a little different.
Yeah, but they're also just like right with third party. They're just like, hey, can we do this? And the third party says, yeah. They don't give that technology to the third party. They just add it to that game. Right? That's how Microsoft works. Right? That's what they've said, at least, is that's what happens.
I think I remember reading about the HDR implementation. I think they are using. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but I think they are using machine learning for the HDR. They have other games where they use the HDR in that game, and they base the patterns off of that, and then they look at the old game and they say, okay, this is how this should look, and then
it's
they
like
apply
a heat
it.
map that can go up to 10,000 nits, which no display can even hit today. I don't think so.
Wow.
It's pretty.
Yeah,
incredible.
one of the games. Sorry, I'm back on the computer now. One of the games that Jason Ronald and Major Nelson talked about, they said it looks completely different. Is Fusion Frenzy on the original Xbox because of the HDR implementation. Now, if you know Fusion Frenzy, very colorful game, so I could see why like HDR or them accentuating the high dynamic range, why it would look different. Like Major Nelson was like saying, it looks like a completely different game. So we're in for a treat. You're going to be able to move your games.
That's like a 20-year-old game that is just somehow has HDR. Right?
Yeah, I wonder how they're pulling that out of the machine. Of course, this is not real HDR. This is some sort of
it's a heat map,
trick they're using.
They showed it.
But the thing is like, but it's not really pulling extra color depth out at all because it's not there. It should the information shouldn't be there.
The PS4 has been doing that for a while.
So basically, it's the luminance they're pushing in certain areas. Yeah, and that's going to be pretty cool to see. But I just can't wait to see what they do with all these games and this HDR implementation. Resolutions, frame rates, people. Yeah, you hear stuff about frames, on these older games. I can't wait, man. I want to see some of that stuff. And people that are saying, who cares about old games? Yeah, F you, man. I don't need to listen to that crap. I like that, seriously, like
Jesus.
Some of these games, I like to go back and see some of these games personally. I do. I went back to Red Dead Redemption, and that's a thing of beauty on the One X. So
I just
get out of
beat
here.
The Last of Us, the first one, like a week ago.
Yeah.
Speaking of FU, I would say EA Play was a big fuck you to everyone who wasted their time watching that shit.
Oh my god!
See, I knew I created a good segue.
It was so bad. It was really fucking bad.
Horrible.
EA, well, why?
Didn't they announce like Skate though, like Skate 4?
I don't give a fuck if they announce free $5 footlongs for everybody. Like, I don't give a shit.
I'd be happy.
Yeah,
They announced Skate like it's their biggest thing, and sure, there's a big fan base for it, so don't kill me. But they didn't show anything. It was ridiculous. That whole show was just a whole lot of nothing.
It's kind of weird that they announced Skate, but then Tony Hawk Pro Skater's coming out, and you're like, I was actually like, oh man, I remember that when I was a kid. And they're like, Skate, and I'm like, that hype kind of died already. I got Tony Hawk now. I'm sorry.
And this was going to be their E3 show.
Oh my god, you guys got to stop it with the disses in the super chat on some of these guys on Twitter. It's hilarious.
It's nuts though.
The
show was bad.
Even that new Star Wars Squadron game was like.
Well, I mean, some people want a cockpit only, kind of more, hardcore. But it's just, I don't know, man. It's just for a whole show. I get it. People that are fine and they didn't have nothing else to do. But some of us took some time out and sat there and watched that, and we're just like, what the fuck is this show here for?
Definitely the worst show I've seen.
Kids Move said, is the new Star Wars coming to next gen? I would assume so, brother.
It looks like it should have been on last gen. Yeah, it looks like it should have been on last gen.
Did you see Wilmy Hood in the cutscene? He looked like he was in 360 or something.
Oh my god, dude, it was cringy. I'm sorry. There's just no good way to put it. The whole show was bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. They did actually, by the way, mention here recently that the PC version of Madden 2021 is the old Xbox One and PS4 version of the game, and the next-gen console version is the different version that PC won't have. PC Master Race.
That sounds great.
They confirmed this?
Yeah, so
yeah, I heard something like that too.
Ridiculous.
He said, "What? I ain't playing it on PC now."
You can play it now.
What if there's a benchmark though, D-Batch?
So are we gonna get that next gen version this year though? Or are we just gonna get like a fucking prettier version of the current one?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Unless it's DICE, I don't really trust a lot of people to really ink out all the hardware. By the way, we got to give a shout out to pretty much 2,500 people watching this live, guys. Tim Dog's about to yeah, he's getting a little amped up. Hit that like button. Not 3,000, 2,500, Tim Dog. If you're here, hit that like button, guys. Share it out. Help us out a little bit. We do appreciate it. You make us one of the biggest shows on the planet. Element of PO, by the way. He says, the Fonz gets my respect as an honest gamer in the community. Good to have him on RDX. Yes, Fonz is an original member.
Thank you, Element of PO.
He had to disappear for a little bit. Fonz has been here since day one. And shout out to everybody in the chat, Philly Eagle, all the channel members. Shout out to all you guys. We do appreciate you quite a bit.
Yeah. And then, I still get people that go, you actually have a YouTube channel? I'm like, yeah, I've had it for a while.
You'll see me in the recommends soon. I got another one.
Recommended today.
He was, yeah. He was every time I went on YouTube. Charles Cutter, shout out to you, buddy. $50 super chat says, love your show. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. Short and sweet. Those are the easiest ones to keep up with. Thank you so much, sir. Do appreciate it. But yeah, again, I mean, EA Play, they didn't really announce anything. You could tell there was a rumor of a Battlefield remake. I talked about quite a while ago that we heard there was I wasn't allowed to say at the time, but it was a Bad Company 2 remaster that I was hearing about. And that just didn't end up popping up that year. And now we're hearing about a remaster of a Battlefield game. And I'm wondering if it just got pushed back a while, but they're also working on some next gen stuff. They showed some stuff on that. Yeah.
Give us a Bad Company 3.
Yeah, I heard that was that Bad Company does next.
Wow, but Bad Company was one of their best games, man.
They were supposed to make a remake and they nixed it. That's I read that.
I'm almost certain it's nixed because they talked about Battlefield 5 or whatever, Battlefield 6, whatever the hell the next one coming out next year, and that they skipped this year so they can make it next gen. So they were like, we want to put like next gen technology in it for next year, blah blah blah. So I don't know. I just want a freaking modern Battlefield with an upgrade system and all this stuff. Like, just give me something. Give me Battlefield again, man.
But Bad Company, they could have done that with Bad Company. Bad Company was amazing.
See, but Bad Company was amazing because it was like the first Frostbite engine and destructible environment, and now everything's on Frostbite. Now everything's destructible environment, so it doesn't stand out like as much to me anymore. So I love Bad Company.
But the first person, man. But the single player games were great, though. That's what I really liked about them too.
Snake
great.
Eyes, by the way, says, dealer, I heard you're getting buff. Benching 2 PS5s now, huge, getting swole. Oh my god.
2 PS5s on the end of a bar.
I started out buff. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
started with
that
pros.
console is huge. I don't. We were talking about last show, like that's got to be the biggest console in history. Colt, do you think? Since you're not fucking saying anything.
What do you want me to say?
Everything.
Hello.
It's the biggest in history.
Do you think it is? I mean, you're looking at all the dimensions and blah blah
That's
blah.
what she said.
Yeah. I mean, we think it's 15, maybe 16 inches.
It's 3 Fonzarellis in height.
Yeah. It's.
You bet.
I don't know. I don't love the look of it. I said this last week. The Xbox Series X is a little plain, but I still think it's cool looking. The PS5's a little wacky looking, but I still think it's cool looking. I don't really care, but
What do you care about this week, Colt?
It's
Well,
huge.
no, I care. I mean, I don't know. The
He
PS5
cares a lot.
If they just made
confused.
the white portion of the PS5 just straight up and down, and then the black, like that was all square, like that would look really cool. But the curves are just weird. It's like a 90s thing.
You
I
don't
just
like those
it.
curves.
I like it.
Yeah, those.
I
I agree with you, Colt. The curves, when it's standing up, I don't mind it. I think it looks cool. I actually think it looks kind of futuristic and it matches good with the controller. But when I saw that on the side, holy shit, man! It's fucking ugly on the side, man.
Little D-bash
And
legs
how are we
hanging out
gonna
of the
fit in
middle.
To me,
our
it isn't.
units? It's so fucking tall.
But
I
you see
mean,
that thing
it'll-
in black? It looks amazing in black.
That's because you don't
Yeah,
see
it's
the shit in
not-
the dark.
Where did I? Yeah, I mean, there's somebody sent me a
I don't
link
like the
with
white.
with like a perfectly done 3D model that you could rotate X, Y, and Z
Yeah, I saw
on your
it.
phone. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then I didn't mess with it, but that's how you can put it in AR. So you could set it like somewhere on a table. And that's how people were coming with these mock-ups for size, which they're approximating putting the size like
There's a
virtually
base.
in
There's like
there.
a stand on it too, right? Like
Yeah, the stand looks like a hockey puck. It's about the size of almost the size of a hockey puck. It looks like it's
Yeah.
not like the stand on the Xbox One X where it's a 1/4 inch thick.
I
a
definitely
good
think it
inch
stands
thick.
bigger than a hockey
People
puck.
don't really understand. This thing is as big as like an average washing machine. So you
Don't
think you-
stop.
Front
No, I
loader,
think
yeah.
that stand is about the size of a Hostess Ding Dong.
it's
The
bigger
funny
than that.
thing is
Holy
that people
fuck.
made fun of Xbox. They're like, "Damn, that thing's huge! Look, it's like a fridge." And then they
Jason
made fun
Vargas
of it.
said looks
Aaron
like a George
Greenberg.
Foreman grill.
Yeah, and then now we have this thing, and it's just like it's like a '90s comic book cover. It's just
Y'all
way
guys
overdone.
gotta stop being messy.
guys are
Douglas
Mega Bad Seed
Douglas
just
Wood.
said the
real
look.
quick.
Mega Bad Seed just said the look of the PS5 won't age well, and I kind of agree with him. That's the thing when you go with kind of a bold, like forward-thinking aesthetic, it can go out of style pretty quickly. The Xbox Series X isn't very exciting at all, but I always said if they adopt like the Apple look, like simple lines and just clean, it looks really cool. It looks good in different settings, like different on a living room or a family room or
How
a
long
game
before
room.
somebody falls and cracks their head on the corner of the Series X? And
But in all honesty, even though I like this thing, like who really cares what it looks like? As long as it's
Exactly.
quiet, okay. I hope it's not sounding like my PS4 Pro. It sounds like it's about
I mean,
to take
I
off in
cared
my
what the
living room.
original Xbox One looked like, and I'm gonna
I
care
didn't
what this
care.
thing looks like as well.
Who cares?
Douglas
You know
Wood, by
what?
the way, Douglas Wood says you guys are awesome. Thanks for always giving a good cast. Thank you so much. KY Bob with another novel, says TCL. TCL used what they called 120 hertz clear motion, which is just simulated 120, which took a 60 hertz input. And so you're talking about frame insertion for the back compat games. Yeah, I don't know if that's what they're doing. That does add latency, but if you're raising the frame rate, that does decrease latency. What do you think, D?
No, I don't think they're using frame interpolation.
It's not frame,
for that,
to
be honest with you,
it's just a
because
motion
that would
interpolation.
still screw up the animations. It would look janky. They're doing. I think they're probably just doing some type of fucking machine learning that's just analyzing the changes and how the animation has to be. I don't fucking know. I'm really interested to see what they're doing under that hood, man.
Yeah, what the fuck are they doing, man? Hey, Hector Mendez, shout out to you, buddy. The cooling solution, that's what I want to see. But anyway, let's go ahead and move forward. The topic. PS5, by the way, I did want to bring this up because Digital Foundry did confirm that PS5 is using checkerboarded ray tracing, and I expect we'll see this. I think we'll see this across like all systems because of reprojections, interpolations, interlacing. It's been one of the biggest things that I said would make these systems so capable. People are talking about how ray tracing cripples frame rates, not even knowing what the fuck it is. They don't even have it. And I'm sitting here saying, well, just activate something like DLSS, checkerboarding, etc., and you make up the cost of the ray tracing right there. And the image looks almost the same because modern checkerboarding has gotten so good. They checkerboard the image, then they add the post-processing in a lot of newer games like Gears 5 did. That's why the checkerboarding is so convincing in that game. That game actually runs at closer to 1440p as we expected it would. And they checkerboard that up to 4K. So, again, PS5 using checkerboarded ray tracing. Tim, have you seen anything at all on this, like on Twitter or anything? Have you seen people talking about this?
Yeah, I think people are trying to make fun of it, saying, "Oh, look, it's only 25%." But like you say, a lot of these things are going to come down to tricks and ways that they can implement at the most, the least intensive way, and try to get, obviously a great image. You have VRS, stuff like that to, try to, help out with, optimization. But running a game with ray tracing, like 4K 60 with ray tracing, is really impressive. So if, let's say, Xbox is running 4K 60 and it has checkerboarding ray tracing, I think if we're going to start making fun of that, then we're getting a little bit too involved. Because like you said,
you're going to see it on all platforms.
You're going to see it on all platforms, and it's probably going to look great too.
Even on PC, you'll see it.
You're not going to really notice, a checkerboarded, reflection on water. You know what I mean? So, like I said, 4K 60 with ray tracing. If Xbox hits that, and they're already touting that they are, I definitely think that they're going to be the place for that. Maybe be able to hit native, or they're going to probably have to be a little checkerboarded. But I think that that's an advantage that Xbox is going to have. In ray tracing, I think that they're going to be able to definitely push more than Sony, a lot more, in fact.
Yeah.
And that's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
what
because
do we know
you're
about
talking about
the
that
ray
extra
tracing?
boost of power plus all those features, and I'll bring you back to Cole, but Ashtray says PS5 will match Pony Caravan. I don't know what that means exactly, but I'm sure somebody in Australia does. Shout out to Ashtray Gaming. Cole, what were you saying?
King Destruction said, Dealer Colt, do you think Microsoft will shut down Xbox next? No, they make a bunch of money there.
Wait, King
I was
Destruction.
saying,
Smack yourself
do
in the
we
face.
know what the ray tracing core difference is between the PS5 and Xbox Series X?
Developers have said it's going to be substantial because you got more CUs and the ray tracing is tied to the CU count. So not only do you have a massive performance delta, we know this from PC. We know this from PC today. We know that there's at least, probably, 40 frames or so worth of a difference. People are thinking that we were talking about 40 extra frames per second. No, we're talking about smashing that into the resolution effects, all that stuff across the board, into the ray tracing. And basically, if everything was the same, you'd have an extra 40 frames, but they're gonna put more settings on, hopefully. Yeah. And that's, again, ray tracing is a big part of that. And Colt, what do you think?
People also think that Digital Foundry's kind of said this, but people think that Digital Foundry are not going to pixel count as much next generation, but I have a feeling they definitely will, because it's one of the easiest ways to say the PS5 version looks like this, the Xbox Series X looks like this. And since both consoles are going to come out like extremely capable from the gate with these games, I am expecting, and Tim as well has said it on Twitter, we expect the Digital Foundry comparisons day one to be pretty fierce, because there are more CUs, there's a variable clock.
But you'll have games like Destiny 2 that max out on both systems at 4K 60, and there's probably not much of a difference. Whereas the generation stretches on, more and more ray tracing comes along. These things will obviously be leveraged harder and more efficiently on Series X over time. So again, you can't just say, we hit 4K, we hit 60 FPS. You got to really look at games that are really hyper demanding at those higher frame rates and effects.
It's a staple, right, from Digital Foundry. Like, it's a staple for them to do something like comparison, and a lot of channels do that. They compare PlayStation 4 Pro to Xbox One X and PC. Like, this is going to happen when the new consoles come out, people. It's going to be there, and you're going to see what the difference is in the consoles.
Including load times, definitely including load times. But you'll definitely see them do that. you'll see a lot of comparisons. But one of the things that Xbox has another advantage is these games coming out first generation, like just the first year or so. None of them are going to be using multi-core threading. So
except for Dirt 5. Dirt 5 is.
Yeah. So PS5 is going to be, Xbox will be able to run their CPU at 3.8. And Sony's going to be running at 3.5. That's kind of a.
Well, hang on, Tim. You say 3.5, but that's only if the GPU is clocked all the way down.
Exactly. So I think you're going to see a lot of frame. I think frames is really going to be an advantage that you're going to see Xbox. Start to push.
Wow.
You're going to see a lot of high frame rate games from Microsoft.
But I'm going to want to see that film games.
PlayStation is focusing on graphics over frame rates. For
frame rate is graphics.
That's
fonts.
for sure.
I think
happening.
I think Digital Foundry is going to have a field day. There's so many more things to compare: ray tracing, variable rate shading, of course, the resolution, the frames per second, and there's going to be a stark difference. People are banking on the SSD in the PlayStation 5, and as great as it is, it's not going to make up that deficit. So a lot of people are going to be eating a lot of crow, and I can't wait to see those comparisons. I just want to talk quickly on the 4K 60 though. It has to be said that that's a pretty amazing feat to have 4K 60 with ray tracing, whether or not it's checkerboard or not on a console, is a feat, because on PC right now you're not getting 4K 60 ray traced. You got to drop it down. If you have like a 2080 Ti, you got to drop it down to to 1440p, use DLSS, and use all these different techniques. I think Microsoft has an advantage here with DX12, and just the fact that it's their code that's doing ray tracing that
and the fact that we even have to say that just shows you how capable the boxes are. Because you're talking about PC where you're paying so much more money.
Yeah, I think it's gonna bode well on the Xbox Series X. I think for ray tracing and the fact that they have variable rate shading and Sony hasn't have that confirmed on their system yet. If that is the case, you're really going to see a deficit in the frame rates compared to the PlayStation 5.
Let me give a shout out, and DA, well said, buddy. I want to give a shout out to 2,600 people watching live, guys. Hit that like button. Let's try to crush 1,000 likes for the end of the show, and obviously more after that. Share this out, help us out a little bit. We do appreciate it, guys. Links down below. Support everybody on the panel. We're still got some topics to go, but of course, hit that bell icon, subscribe, become a channel member, etc. Blah blah blah. I got a gun to my head. And of course, again, if you're wondering, Battlefront 2 footage, Xbox One X. The game looks insane. It's only 1080p, kind of whatever bitrate stream, but Obi-Wan and I were playing this game, having a pretty good time. Check out their co-op mode and stuff.
Yeah, it looks like you're having a lot of fun, actually. It looks. Are you playing the new mode that came out with Obi?
I think so.
Well, let's not go
Yeah,
there,
I think I played with him too. That thing's fun, man.
Yeah.
I didn't say the game looks fun. I just said it looks good.
Now, speaking of fun, hopefully Marvel's Avengers is fun because it's getting a free next-gen patch. It's coming to PS5 and Xbox Series X for absolutely free, disproving claims that PS5 does not have a form of smart delivery for free upgrades like Microsoft do. So basically, Marvel's Avengers getting a free patch to upgrade to PS5 and Xbox Series X, basically proving that PS5 and Sony are doing some kind of smart delivery system.
Yep.
I mean, I kind of expected it from this game.
Yeah.
This is a get gear kind of game. I know it has a single player campaign, but I also know you play with your friends and you collect stuff. It's almost like a kind of like a Destiny Light, or maybe it is like a Destiny game. A game that I love, Marvel Heroes, that was on PC, that was like a dungeon crawler with Marvel Heroes, got canceled, I think basically because of this game. So I'm going to be playing this game with a very critical eye. I'm looking forward to playing it because I love all superhero stuff and comics and all that. So
yeah, me too.
I hope it's good. I really do hope it's good. I'm glad that it's getting the Series X upgrade because I'm going to be playing it there. So yeah, I mean, I want to play it on the Series X and make it look freaking awesome. I'm glad it's getting that treatment.
Hey, I got to have a shout out to Snake Eyes too real quick. He says, I buy PlayStation 4 exclusives, but if their only focus is visuals and 30 FPS on first party, I'll save my money. We gotta applaud Snake Eyes because Sony need to focus on frame rate like Microsoft. And I gotta shout out to some guy on Twitter. Who's this fuckface? PlayStation Bro. I don't know who this guy is. Somebody sent me a screenshot. I never heard of him. But this guy basically was saying, who asked Dale to represent play? Nobody did. But look at what you guys are doing and what we're doing. Even when we talk about your platform, more motherfuckers are paying attention and listening. So at the end of the day, we are the ones that Sony should be listening to because we're asking for better. Meanwhile, you guys damage control every fucking thing. We're asking for more frames. We're asking for better games. We're asking for it from both sides. All right, nobody's trying to represent PlayStation. Nobody does represent PlayStation. Same for Xbox. Everybody's their own.
You know, they constantly, you know, it's constantly said that Xbox dudes need to ask for more when it comes to games. And guess what? We have this podcast here. We've been doing it for years. We've been asking for better when it comes to games. So that point is moot, people. But when you're sitting there being complacent with 30 frames per second on next-gen hardware that's capable of giving you up to 120 frames per second on some games, you're going to be complacent with 30 frames.
And he doesn't dare ask for better? Oh, my God.
That's a big problem because people are out there saying, you know what? That's good enough. That's good enough for these games. Look at the quality of games we're getting. Guess what? Sure, it could be good enough for now, but it's not going to be good enough for later. I'm sorry.
But if this
those
was
frames
Xbox,
make a huge difference, people.
If this was
Huge
Xbox
difference.
only offering 30 frames, imagine the shit storm would be on social media for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give Square Enix credit here though, because I did cover this today in a quick video. They are offering a 60 frames per second mode in this game, so they're going to be targeting dynamic 4K with 60 frames per second, and they're going to have a graphical mode that's going to be 4K 30. So that's what I've been asking for. I said, listen, if you want to have, you know, balls to the wall, all the fucking graphic switches turned on, fine. At least have a 60 frames per second mode, and they're going in this direction with this game. So I, for one, am happy. I'm glad that PlayStation owners are going to get to upgrade to this game for free. And apparently, it doesn't matter if you have the digital or physical copy, you'll get the upgrade for free. And I also found it really weird that they didn't really go into detail on what we can expect on the Xbox Series X. They said all this stuff about the PlayStation 5, how it's going to have, you know, good, you know, better screen space reflections and ambient occlusion and all this stuff, but they didn't really say anything about the Xbox Series X. And I think the reason is because it's obviously a better console, and because they have that deal with Sony in place, they want, you know, the PlayStation 5 to look in its best light. But I'm expecting, if they're doing 4K dynamic 4K 60, I do expect the Xbox Series X to do 4K 60 on this game.
The point is, like, a lot of these guys, Sony could tell them it's 24 frames like Hellblade, right? The little debut of Hellblade, and they'd be like, that's fine. We don't want 30 frames. And when we go and we say, look, Sony, you need to start talking about 60 FPS and offering that like Microsoft are aiming to do, and then some fuckface screenshots your thing, don't even tag you, and saying, who asked this guy to represent PlayStation? Nobody did. But at the end of the day, look at how many people are listening to us talk about PlayStation, and look how many people are looking at somebody like that talk about PlayStation. And look how we're asking for better.
Hold on.
Let me finish my fucking thought, bitches. Come on now.
Yeah.
And look how many people, look how we're asking for better, frame rate wise, game wise, all this stuff from Microsoft. We can do the same thing for PlayStation. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
And first of all,
you know why? Because we own PlayStation.
We don't represent a goddamn multi-billion-dollar company, first of all. Okay. And second of all, I don't even like, everybody in here is a gamer. We try to represent gamers the best we can and respect everybody that's in the chat. That's who we represent, our gamers, okay? Because that's what we are. And if you're going to sit there and go, who's your PlayStation represent? No. Microsoft? No. That's not what we represent. Okay?
We never claimed to
either. We enjoy it.
And we're
also not muted by those executives and those leaders and those industry professionals. Don't have us muted or blocked.
Satya likes
the problem is when you have a whole group of Sony guys being complacent with what they're given, and they complained about Xbox dudes doing this, and now the shoe's on the other foot when it comes to frame rates, and you guys are okay with it. It makes no sense. And let me just say, you will get some titles. God of War did it this generation. It had a 60 frames mode. You will get some titles in first party that do that, but there will be those that won't. I guarantee you titles like Horizon Zero Dawn 2 will not, because the first one didn't. Also, Ratchet and Clank. Just look at that game. Ratchet and Clank.
I think you'll get a ton of 60
frames.
FPS games on PS5. I only get more comments.
Sure.
Hold on, Brandon Dan. Brandon Dan in the chat says,
Ren just messed up dealer.
Brandon Dan just says, PS5 goes all the way up to 120 FPS at 4K. It's on their website. Why do you guys keep saying 30?
Listen,
because
Jesus
the developer has said their games are going to be 30, like Horizon Zero Dawn and Ratchet and Clank. And
the developer didn't say Horizon. That was Digital Foundry.
Yeah.
And I keep telling you guys to stop running with that because it's not confirmed yet.
Well, let me ask you guys one question about, is there any game right now that Sony has touted 120 frames per second?
No. Well, actually, there's a game that they touted 240 frames per second. That's their Gran Turismo game. They're saying that's going to be really high frames, but that's a racing game.
I want
when it comes to their other first-party games, no, they're not. They haven't been. They've been very quiet on frame rates. That's the one thing Microsoft has been pushing.
Why are these PlayStation guys getting so angry? We're advocating for more features, not to take away features.
features.
Well,
We're
they
not
didn't watch
saying-
the episode D where
We're not
they
saying
didn't
that-
watch the countless episodes where we
This
asked
is
the
what-
same thing from Xbox. Hey,
Yeah, we're
Valhalla
not
30
saying
is
get
not
rid of
acceptable.
4K 30. We're saying add a 60 frames per second mode. You want to keep the 4K 30? Fine. We know
Yes,
some gamers
thank
like
you,
that.
D.
That's your prerogative. But you know what?
Hey, Jeremy Thomas, watch me vanish. Watch me Thanos your ass off the planet real quick.
What the heck is he saying
We's
now?
gonna do this here. We's gonna hit this here button and go ahead and I could just go ahead and hit this button and make it nice and
He's saying,
fun.
"Shut up, dealer."
Yeah, Jeremy Thomas has been Thanos.
Shut up on your own channel.
Yeah, I mean,
God,
at the end of the day, hey,
God.
don't ask for better. Sit here like me, Jeremy Thomas.
He's like, "Let
and
me
lick
enjoy
people's
my
butt
30
cracks."
frames like I have for
You
6
know,
years."
I have to agree with Jeremy. This is Colt's channel, and I need you
Oh
to
my God.
respect it.
Jesus Christ, you guys are so
Dealer hatched
stupid.
me
That's
from
my fault,
an
I'm
egg
sorry.
in a dumpster one day. Hey, Sean LeBrie, how you doing?
I hate
Sean
to,
LeBrie
you
wants
know,
to know: are there any games that support ray tracing like Bug Snacks?
Bug
Ray
Snack
trace
supports
maps.
googly-eyed strawberries crawling through their
I
grass.
need my googly eyes ray traced. That's all I'm saying.
But
for
again,
real,
how many
though.
times do we make fun of Bambi headbutting some Xbox soap out of a vending
Exactly.
machine? You know,
I
so
know that.
again,
Battle
But the thing is, at the end of the day,
and the
it's-
lack of
it's like this-
gameplay in the May event, like everything. People listen.
He
Sony's
said-
been quiet.
I said R.I.P. Jeremy.
So like, listen, it's we just go after everything that we don't like. All right, that's just what happens. Sony is quiet on one back compat. Third parties talked about it more on PlayStation 5 than they have. Sorry, that's just a fact. And they've just been quiet about the frame rate, and that just sucks,
Yeah,
you know. And then
yeah.
we
And
have
that
executives
told
of
me a lot.
Xbox saying that the standard is going to be 60. Like that, like Aaron Greenberg said that on Twitter.
You're gonna hear
That's
about a
gonna be
ton of
the
120 too from them.
Yeah, and a
Xbox
ton-
Battlegrounds
exactly.
is pointing out how
And-
motherfuckers cared about power back in the day, but now, of course, it doesn't matter.
You know what? We talk about this a lot and we get into it and we go on tangents. But the thing is it's very important for gaming to move forward. Seriously, it is. When you talk about innovation, you talk about ray tracing and stuff, frame rates go hand in hand with all that. The higher the frames, the better the games perform.
Snake eyes, wiener hands, full ray tracing. Snake eyes.
Gotta have that wiener trace.
I got wiener hands, bitch.
I have something, just a little confirmation here. It's a change of subject, but it's something previously. Facebook will not be integrated with Xbox like Mixer was.
Yes.
So people that were worried about that, that's been confirmed
That's
by
great
Nature
news.
Nelson.
It doesn't
What
matter
does
because
that
once
mean,
you
Earl?
once you set up a page, they're automatically going to link to your account anyway, and we all know what Facebook.
Well, there's not going to
snaps.
have like an integration like Mixer. You know how they have the Mixer tab.
yeah,
And they had that. They're not going to have that. They
80% of
confirmed
us
that.
are already on Facebook. There's a couple of us that have left and just never going back, and our accounts deleted. But Facebook already has your goodies by now.
oh yeah.
Mm.
Zuckerberg knows exactly what you had for breakfast, whether you want to believe it or not.
All right, you got a personal vendetta with this man.
You had corn.
That dude fucking.
You know
hates
he's a
my
lizard
guts. I hate
person,
him
right?
too. Yeah,
The
he's
Grays.
a reptilian.
Hey,
You're
well,
already that's so funny. You're already on the internet. Like I know Facebook's crappy and everything, but I mean you're already on the internet. You're already pretty much giving your souls to the demons. Like
Yeah, if Facebook's
You know, I just
not
bought a
getting
new
it, Google is.
I bought a
Amazon,
new
Google,
guitar.
and Facebook can make a clone out of you, and
Yeah.
nobody would know the
Yeah,
difference.
I bought a new guitar a couple weeks ago, and for like 2 weeks
bragging.
afterwards, any website I went to had little banners of that
Yes.
exact guitar model forever. Like the internet knows the deepest, darkest secrets.
Yes, it
thanks,
does.
cookies.
Oh, that explains why I see midget porn all over my pages.
Hey, shout out to GMC Gamer. What's going on,
I
buddy?
hate you, D.
Shout out to Black Manta.
Shout out to all these
This
guys,
game does
man.
look
It's
good.
Joe
This chat-
Sanchez, infamous, imperious one. Philly Eagle.
This chat
the
is seriously the
game
best chat in the
filter.
universe.
It's been a minute, buddy. All you guys in the chat, you guys are awesome. You're the best chat in the universe. Hawk, All Might, shout out to you, buddy. All the patrons. Hey, by the way, any patrons in the chat? I know there's some of you in there. If you got a question, I'm answering these damn questions from patron DMs exclusively. At the end is like a bonus thing, is kind of part of my outro. So if you got any questions, throw them on Patreon right now, and I'll go ahead and answer them. What the hell is this? What kind of currency is that? 2,500.
Costa Rica.
Is that, what is that? CRC. You know, no matter what it is, Dr. Vortex, we do appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
He says, great show, guys. Watching/listening from Costa Rica, 60 FPS should be the basically the standard. Tim, Scream 120 FPS. Tim, you don't got to do it. Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God! Shout out to Dr. Vortex as well for becoming a channel member. All the channel members.
1,000 record.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah!
And then chilling, laid back. Shout out to you, buddy, for the super chat. All the other super chats, appreciate it. But again, I'm trying to catch up here.
It's $5, by the way.
Thank you so much for the $5, buddy.
Valorian said, "Let's take a moment for Jeremy." Just kidding, that clown.
R.I.P. Jeremy. Never fuck with the guy on the microphone.
Hey, isn't that what you call the snatcher in Gears when we play Gears
Jeremy? Hey, that and Titanfall Princess. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and move forward. So we moved on past Marvel's thing. We got we'll end the on Last of Us 2 impressions, and we all have.
That's where we're gonna go.
Take care, guys.
What the fuck? Phil Spencer, by the way, speaking at Games Lab keynote, and that is tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. British Sandwich Time. So yeah, guys, I mean, what do you think he's going to talk about, Colt? I just learned about this today.
What? Who's going to talk about? I was answering
the Series X.
One of my questions.
He's going to talk about Mixer.
Phil Spencer speaks at Games Lab keynote.
Oh yeah. Well, Tim was going to tell us something, but you said it wasn't going to be super big.
In the chat, I put speaks at Games Lab keyboat.
Oh,
I accidentally wrote that wrong in the topics.
I don't know. This is the last thing we'll hear for June. Like, they didn't really do a June event. They did a couple of interviews and a couple of Xbox Wired articles. And I thought maybe they were just going to piggyback on other events. Like we would see them at show something at Summer Festival or EA Play or something, but no.
Yeah, weren't they supposed to do 100 events? They were supposed to do 100 events, right? Oh, no, that's PlayStation, sorry.
See, we got more questions. Like KY Bob was saying this last week or the week before. Burn when oh my God, burn when I pee, really? he says, so should I buy Last of Us 2 physical or digital, seeing as PS5's around the corner? This is a valid concern. They have not confirmed that these damn things will get patched for free on PS5 yet, or work, or anything yet.
There's like
shout out to Dirty Swag as well for becoming a channel member.
People ask me this. There's about 10 to 15 really big games that define the PS5 or PS4 library. And I would guess, wouldn't you guys agree that those games are going to come forward and be patched?
Yeah.
Future generations, he says, damn, 2.6K in the chat. Dealer, is that a new record? No, it is not, sir. The 3K is the record. And that was last week.
Yep.
Also, we got a cloud practitioner. He says, great show. Shout out to you, buddy. But, I mean, so you would imagine, Colt, they're coming forward. They're going to work. You would say,
like Spider-Man, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Killzone, Infamous Second Son, like they're Uncharted 4, The Last of Us. I think those would have to be on their short list, included with the 100 best games. I don't know. I would think. So people have asked me, should I buy this game digital? And I'm like, yeah, I think you can. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, most things are pretty much digital now. Like everybody is, especially after this last, like the pandy, like there's digital sales have gone up like crazy. So I don't know. I feel that Sony's first parties are going to get that treatment. I just don't know about the third party, because a lot of that third party treatment is coming directly from like on Microsoft's side from Microsoft's engineers. So like, you know, a lot of the back compat, a lot of that stuff, like is Microsoft telling the developers, you don't have to do anything. We do it on our end. And that to me is a vital thing that they have going there that Sony just doesn't have. So
let me ask you a question, Zucker. This is very important.
Yes.
When is Knack 3 coming out?
First of all, Knack 3's coming out when Banjo comes out, and I can't wait for Banjo. Okay, Colt, I know you're really looking forward to it. You hope the initiative's working on Banjo. So
I will strangle you across the internet.
To answer that guy's question, I would buy it digital, man. I say you want to get the all digital PlayStation 5 version. Say it's $100 cheaper than the regular version, and you have the physical copy. How are you going to upgrade your game? I would just play it safe, and I would get the digital version.
Yep.
Yeah.
The game filter.
Buy the
no problem, buddy.
one.
Let me give a shout out to All Might real quick. All Might says Metacritic won't even let you submit your Last of Us 2 review. Greatness awaits. Is that a
Metacritic?
Say what? Colt?
Metacritic's site is absolutely bogged down. I went to look, and there's like 65,000 user reviews. And I looked at Death Stranding, which is an 82, and I was like, what is Gears at this point? Because Death Stranding's kind of dropped down. It took me like 18 attempts to get the search to load up for Gears 5. The site is like bombarded with people hitting
What's
that
Gears
latitude. Huh?
What's Gears at?
It's at an 85.
Evan North says, "Be nice, Colt, you little bitch."
I just heard people calling it trash recently. Wow, 85.
No, it's at an 85, and Death Stranding's at an 82, and the user review score on Gears 5 is pretty high too.
Hey, did The Last of Us settle at 95? Is it still there?
It is still at a 95, and it's up to like a 4.4 user score.
We got Harry.
Yeah.
Harry for Agent. He says, "Zalker, mate, please stop. We need with the cartoon games. We need AAA now." He's right.
We do.
He's right.
Cal Matute in chat said, or Matute, I don't know how you say it, but he said, "Are Colt and Dealer the same person?" I'm like, well, yeah, I just do two different voices.
All Might again. He says you can do reviews, just not on Last of Us 2. He says so. I don't know, man.
Dealer is a freaking Ewok in the game right now.
Actually, yeah. I mean, this is the beginning of the match. This is the beginning of me playing the game for a while, and I was getting used to it. And I was playing as this damn dude, and he was like,
"That's awesome."
Do you think that for mocap they asked Luca to come in?
I think that's actually.
Oh man,
that's Luca. It's little Luca.
Oh my god,
little Luca.
That's fucked up.
Oh my god,
I love you, Luca.
I'm texting her right now. I'm telling her.
Speaking of being choked through the internet,
she's gonna murder me, man.
She's gonna fucking force choke you through the wall.
She is, bro.
Yes.
All right, I'm getting emails about some of these Patreon questions, guys. Okay, I'll definitely get to a few of those. I'm gonna have to put a cap on it though, obviously for obvious reasons, because I'm already getting a lot. But Phil Spencer showing up at Games Lab keynote tomorrow. I think it's already pre-recorded. And he basically is going to be talking about some stuff. They're going to have some other people there, Tim Schafer, some other guys from Microsoft as well. And again, that is 12 p.m. EST, 5 p.m. British Sandwich Time. And then last topic, guys. And again, we got to give everybody a shout out for rocking out with us, doing what you do. All the members, all the patrons, everybody. You guys are awesome. Thanks for rocking out with us. 2,600 tonight, guys. Over, actually. And just thanks for what you do, honestly. Check out the links and all that stuff. We're going to get into our Last of Us 2 impressions so far, and then we'll kind of do outros instead of questions. We'll get into some shout-outs. But
your like ratio is really nice, too.
Yeah, we got over 1,000 likes already, guys. If you haven't already hit that like button, we do appreciate it. Share it out. As I ask Wommyhood, we'll start with Wommyhood. Last of Us 2, buddy. PS4 Pro, undoubtedly. Maybe PC soon.
No spoilers.
No spoilers whatsoever.
I'm
Overall thoughts on the game, Wilmy?
I give it an 8.5 out of 10. I mean, I don't understand all the fake rage for this game. I really just don't get it. I completed it today, and to me, I know where they were trying to go with the story, and I get that, and I'm not going to say any more than that. The only thing that really got on my nerves about the game was sometimes the camera was a little off here and there, but the abilities for Ellie come to you pretty late in the game. It's almost like it's wasted because you really don't get too much of a chance to use them throughout the game. But
Did
other
you pull
than
an
that,
Obi-Wan and just run right through the game?
No, I've searched. I've got like 40 some hours into it. I tried to search everything as I went, but I really enjoyed the game. The gameplay was solid. The mechanics were solid. The environments looked great. There were a few spots you're kind of like, well, this really seems like the last area I just left, and there is a little bit of fluff here and there.
You're being a little nitpicky motherfucker right now, Wilmy.
No, he's not.
No, he's
well,
not.
I'm kidding. Jesus Christ.
I mean, I put a lot of time into it because I know me and my schedule. I'm not going to go back and play it a second time unless they add DLC. But I mean, once you get, and the thing is too about the story, and I'm not going to say, but the major thing about the story that everybody was so upset about, that really had to happen, or you would not have a story at all. I mean, you had to have something to fuel the entire story from there. So I just think, I don't know, man. I see their vision with the game. I understood it after I completed it, and I walked away from it. I was like, okay, yeah, this is cool. It's not a 10. I give it 8.5, but to me, I've never played a 10.
So you never played God of War?
I have played God of War.
Have you played Sea of Thieves?
Have you played Witcher 3?
I have played Sea of Thieves, and that lasted for about 5 minutes, almost as long as Bleeding Edge.
We'll know a 10 when Bugsnax comes out.
Hey, Welsh Gamer says, Dealer, don't forget, I'm behind you. Shout out to you, buddy. It's been a minute since I've seen you. Hit me up sometime, man. I think you're on my friends list. Last of Us Cloud Practitioner says the last of it too. Okay, I don't get it, but I'm obviously not done with the game. But yeah, I mean, so when we gave it 8.5, Cultist Eastwood, Coltina Eastwood, Scrote Eastwood. What are your thoughts on Last of Us 2?
71,000 user reviews right now. My thoughts are, I like the combat and I like the stealth. I like the exploration and the looting and crafting. It all feels really good. The game looks really, really good. And there's just, I've never played a game ever where there was so much tension where I am afraid for the next cutscene because something horrible is going to happen to someone, like on the other side or on my side. And I would feel that way even if there were no like hints of spoilers. So that game has this really daunting tension that makes it really difficult for me to play in large sections. Like I don't play the game for hours on end. I've played it like 1 to 2 hours at a time. And we are at, thank you. We were at like, I don't know, I'm at like 5 hours into it.
New Age, did you really just say that? You're in here shilling for Sony every week, brother. You didn't even play it yet? You're getting it on PS5? What?
What did he say?
He said, I'm waiting to get it so I can play it on the PS5. What?
Oh, no.
Age,
play
come
it
on.
now. I mean, it's one of those games where, yes, it's 30 frames and yes, it's not full 4K, but like any really great game like God of War, Red Dead Redemption 2, the experience overshadows that it's not at 60. Like you still can enjoy it immensely. But I don't have a problem with with the clickers or the runners like I used to when I first started it. It's just this daunting, gloomy feeling that we're in a real pandemic on planet Earth right now, and this game is so similar to what we're dealing with and what we could see if the world just never got better. And just the feeling that this is real, personal, brutal violence. And Fawn's Grounded Gamer did a really great review on The Last of Us, and he said, don't worry about the killing. We kill tons of people in games, every game we play. But I told him last night, I said, death and murder and dying and killing in this game, you've never seen it this way before on any game.
I had to take a dog out with nunchucks last night. I don't know how I felt about that.
Cole, did you realize you can actually shoot someone's hand off?
Yeah, I mean, I shot an enemy. I tried to get a headshot, and I shot them in the mouth with the revolver. And I think that's a 357, or what do you think it is, Wilmy? It's probably a 357. And the mouth is blown kind of apart when I walk the body. I'm like, you just don't.
If you shoot them in the neck, you can actually hear the.
We get it. Motherfuckers die real good. All right.
But let me say, like the in-game combat and like that feels really cool. And they scream and they yell when they're in pain. It's like, oh, and you kind of like grit your teeth a little bit. But it's the stuff that happens beyond your control when you walk into an area and the game takes over and a cutscene happens and this really personal, brutal, violent scene happens. And it's like, I kind of wish this didn't happen right before I went to bed. Suck my thumb.
Hey, by the way, we're still getting a lot of people in the chat talking about the June event. If you guys watch the damn videos, you would know I've already covered this in a video. I drop stuff in the middle of videos, at the end of videos, just to reward people.
Antonio Benby says, it was trash. You sound like you play the game drunk. Well, I don't drink. And
you're not allowed to have an opinion, Colt.
I don't love the game. I really like it. And I'm really like having a hard time pushing through some of the difficult, like emotional things that Naughty Dog wants you to feel. Like you never feel this in other games. And I'm having a difficult time with that. But last night I was playing it. Really enjoy the combat, and some of the storytelling is really well done. People say these characters are poorly written. They're really well written and really well acted.
As far as you are,
I didn't know if I would like this game, and I like it, and I'm having a hard time enjoying it. I don't know how to say that way. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, because I've played. Yeah, I know where you're coming.
I mean, isn't that what a lot of reviews said? Like, I didn't have fun, but I like it.
Yeah. In fact, like Polygon and some of their big outlets said, I didn't enjoy the game, but it was really good. And I'm like, what?
I mean, I'm enjoying the game, though. I think they're just frauds.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, like I was saying, people asking about the June event. Like I said, I've already covered this in a video. A lot of times we'll drop stuff in the middle and at the end of the video for people to stick around. Even stuff that's actually bigger news than what the fucking videos, the link in the description's about. And I said this a day or two before they started releasing these developer interviews. I said the June event is not an event like Inside Xbox. It's more of a kind of press release type stuff. They're going to be dropping these articles. They'll be dropping these developer interviews. That's what's in June. It's about the hardware. So Jason Brown's been doing the rounds about velocity architecture, all that stuff. That's the June stuff. July, they will be going hard there. I'll be coming back to some questions on Patreon about that. I got a few. But yeah, Colt, a lot of people probably relate. It's not that you don't like the game. It's just that it's a little different. It's a compliment. It's so realistic. You got to adjust that kind of stuff. Clipper Wings, D-Batch, have you played it?
Yes, definitely. I've been playing it every day. In fact, we stay up late at night. My girlfriend actually loves this game, so she watches me play.
She's like curb stomping dogs.
So I gotta say, like, I'm a huge fan of The Walking Dead. So if you watch that show, you know it's ultra violent. So I wasn't bothered by the violence in the game. In fact, I kind of found it refreshing in the sense that it's different because like I haven't seen a game that's so brutal like that. Now the story, I'm really enjoying the story, to be honest with you. Now, I don't want to give away any spoilers, but I understand certain things. I don't know. The best way for me to describe that is I don't want to give it away, man. You know what?
Do you like the game, D?
Tell us how it makes you feel. How does it make you feel, D, when you play it?
Disappointed.
I thought a different direction could have been taken to get the same result, if you can fill that in. And I think that would have been a better outcome, and I think everybody would have been a little bit happier. I don't like the fact that they force you to care about things you don't want to care about, if you could figure that out as well.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, those things I understand. Now I can overlook those things because it's a fucking game. I like, you know, like at the end of the day, like I don't know these fucking people. You know what I'm saying? So the gameplay is amazing. I love the exploration. I'm going through every single fucking building, checking it fucking a million times. I love that aspect of the game. I love the stealth of the game. The stealth is amazing. There was one building I was in, and I decided to be fucking brave and take a few of them out. And I was like, oh shit, there's like fucking 15 of them. And so obviously I got murdered, and I went back and I just like killed 1, 2 and ran away and kept it moving. So I do like that about the game as well. The graphics are really stellar, especially for a 1440p title. I gotta hand it to them. The animations, like the cloth, like even the fucking jeans. Like if you look at the detail on the jeans, everything in this game is so detailed, and I have to commend them on it. I'm really enjoying the game. Like I'm not finished the game. I would say maybe I'm like 12 hours in or something like that. And thus far, I give it like a 9. Maybe I might dock it down to 8.5. Let's see what the fuck happens, but. You know, I think it's a well-made game. The only thing that I have a problem with is I saw a little bit, two problems. I saw a little bit of pop-in with some textures on certain things.
Minus 1 point.
Sometimes I did notice that a few times. And also my fucking PS4 Pro gets fucking loud, man. The fans, as soon as I start the game up, the fans are going, woo! But apart from that, it's a great game. I don't understand all the hate. This is why I'm a gamer. Games like this is why I'm a gamer. You are in the world, like you're so immersed. Like what Cole was saying, you feel the fucking tension and you feel the fucking rage. I'll say that.
Hey, the friendly neighborhood blue shell. He says, ultimately, The Last of Us Part 2 is going to be the last Jedi of games, makes money and sells well, but half to most will hate the story. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not far enough yet, but I mean, we got to cut these down. These are taking a minute to debash. Pepperidge Farms remembers. I think you summed it up pretty well, though, man. Yeah, it's a mixed bag for you so far, but you really enjoy the game.
It's hard to really sum it up, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know.
I could sum it up pretty good.
I know you could, Fonz. You go forever, but tell motherfuckers to watch your review instead. God damn it! Spare us like 10 minutes of Fonz rants.
Oh, I'm not gonna rant. I'll just tell you like this: it's a very fun game. It's a must play in my opinion as a game itself. As a sequel to The Last of Us, not so much. Matter of fact, as a sequel, I would equate this to something like Mass Effect Andromeda.
What?
Yeah, as a sequel.
Jeez.
Story-wise, it's not. It sucks.
Oh, Andromeda's story was horrible.
But it's a fun game.
You guys beat Andromeda. Did you even play Andromeda, Fonz?
It's a fun
He didn't have a story.
It's a fun game.
Hey, guess what?
It's like the season. It's like the season.
You didn't play Andromeda. You know that is not a good comparison.
It's like season 8 of Game of Thrones. I'm telling you.
All right. Well,
as a sequel,
story wise, the game, like even in the beginning,
even
like
Zocker
the few hours, like I'm disappointed. But like as I'm playing the game, I understand why it's a great game. Like the mechanics are a lot better than the first game. I like the game a lot. The open world, I know there's a lot to do. Like, there's like things you can discover in there, and it's awesome. There's things when me and Fonz were in a party, like that I found that he didn't, or he found that I didn't. Stuff like that. It was really cool. Like we were kind of like collaborating and having fun playing the game. But the story just was freaking. It's just trash. Like I'm sorry, and I beat the first one like a week and a half ago, and I love the characters. I love the first one. I think the first one's amazing, and it just completely disrespects everything I learned from the first game. And
exactly
that's about those characters, and that's
the disrespect, really right?
Disrespect. It does, and you know what?
Don't even think about it.
Like, well, another person that made a review about it said that, and before I played the game, he said it disrespects characters I grew to love or enjoyed learning about, and now I can give two shits about them. And I can give two craps about the games, and that's true.
Like
the game,
one of the main characters becomes an anamorph or something. I mean, I
mean, at that point, it would have been a better writing thing, man. You know, like,
if you don't like playing, if you don't like the first, if you didn't like the first game, or you didn't really give a shit about the characters much, then you'll have a blast with this game. Because I had to just put that aside. I had to put the main characters from the first game aside and just play the game as like a totally new IP, and I liked it as a game, but not as a sequel.
And me and Fonz talked extensively about this in a party, and we agreed on it. And we were like, and we were trying to justify it too. I remember we're justifying certain things, and we're like, well, maybe. And then after a while, we're like, we're idiots. No, we can't. You just can't justify.
You can't justify things. You can't justify some of those story plot. There's
it's
plot
just a
holes
plot
there.
hole. That's all it is. It's just crap writing. They should have done better.
Tim Dog, have you tried the game? Is Tim Dog still here?
No!
You haven't tried the game? I want to wrap it up here. I'm not going to fucking spend 50 years explaining shit that we can't spoil. What's the point of explaining so much? What I'm going to say is that it's fun as hell so far. The graphics are the best of any game ever. Yes, that includes.
Yeah, it is.
We can finally kind of take one game and put it above Red Dead and God of War and stuff like that. Gears would be right up there as well if they had not. Obviously they compromised a little bit to get the frame rate, even though I think the frame rate's more impressive in Gears than maybe some of the visual elements of certain other games. Let me finish my thought.
But is it fair? But is it fair against Red Dead?
I'm going into that. Shit. So Last of Us 2 is not an open world game. That's why it looks so fucking good. Red Dead 2 is an open world game. So I'm more impressed with Red Dead 2 and its physics because of how it looks, because it's open world. But overall, Last of Us 2 still looks better than that or God of War. And they all look amazing. And obviously, if you haven't seen that stuff on the X, then you wouldn't understand. I'm playing on the Pro. Last of Us 2 mechanically is sound. Crafting's great. Gunplay is visceral. It's violent as hell. I know Shady would absolutely love the violence in this damn game. He's getting the things he wanted out of Gears 5, wrapping entrails around people's necks and all the stuff that's going on that he was talking about in Red Dead. He would get all that, and it's very, very, very crazy realistic with a lot of that stuff. That's the kind of stuff that's jarring to people because it's so well acted. You're not used to watching someone flop around like a fish, struggling for air, choking on their own breath and blood, and hearing that. And that's what gets some people because it's a little jarring. It's so realistic, and it's a compliment to the studio, that staff, the actors, and the voiceover director who says, no, that's not good enough. Make it like here, let me stab you. How's that? Okay, now stick your face to the mic. Like, you know what I'm saying? They go above and beyond, and that's what separates them. That's not a bad thing. I'll never say that's a bad thing because they did what they set out to do. They did this on purpose, guys. And guess what? It worked. It's hyper realistic.
But I'd have to go against.
I don't care if anyone's going against it. I'm just giving my take. I'm saying that the game's good so far. I'm not far enough in the story. I think I'm a little farther than Zauker. I think me and Colt are about the same spot. I don't think that, some of the things they were saying about certain characters, maybe it goes against who they are, but then again, motherfuckers get older and they, I don't know.
No.
Fonz?
Get dumber.
Fonz?
No.
Watch Grounded Gamer's review for his opinion. My opinion is that I can justify what's happened at the beginning, and I can say that overall I'm enjoying the game, the exploration, the looting, and until I get to a certain spot in the game where somebody becomes a damn anamorph, then I'm not really going to be like, oh my God, the story's trash. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Like, that's my take right now. I think I'm like 20-30% of the way through, 40% of the way through. I'm not trying to rush this. I'm trying to explore everything. Not that I'm the only one. And that's just kind of my take. I'm enjoying it, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful looking game, and it crushes fucking most games this generation. So far from what I played. I want Microsoft to make some very high quality stuff like that.
All I could think about when I was playing that game on my PlayStation 4 Pro is like, holy shit. Just imagine when Naughty Dog gets their hands on the PlayStation 5. Imagine what those fucking games are going to do.
Imagine what those fuckers are going to do. Hey, Nightwolf, by the way. He said, $10 Super Chat says, if I can understand someone's feelings of the joy for Last of Us 2, why can't we understand? And nobody's saying you can't enjoy the game. But a lot of people are.
Fun game
a lot of people. No. Then the reason we call Fonz out about Mass Effect Andromeda is because Fonz never played Mass Effect Andromeda. That was the joke. But when it comes down to it, Mass Effect Andromeda is a far inferior product when it comes to what it is and what it was supposed to be. I think
my point.
Than Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2's there. It's the story that kills it for people, and that is not a universal truth. Not everybody has to feel the same about the story. Mass Effect Andromeda was flawed on fucking. Not only the story, but so many other levels. Whereas Last of Us 2 is pretty flawless in most areas. The story, that's where people get lost on it. But again, I mean, it's not that you can't not like the game. When I said motherfuckers is frauds, don't take this shit personally or literally. I'm just being entertaining, quote unquote.
And
I hate the story,
let
and I tell people to go play
and let PlayStation and let Xbox players enjoy an Xbox game or a PlayStation game. Like when I was talking, I have a kind of a wishy-washy view of the game. I enjoy it, and then there's things I don't enjoy, and it's hard to say that in one sentence. But I am enjoying the game, and I could tell in the chat people didn't want me to say that I was enjoying the game, and just don't be like that. Like, let people enjoy what they're playing, no matter what it is, whether it's Bug Snacks or whether it's an Xbox exclusive or whether it's genital jousting on PC. Let people enjoy what they want to do.
True, Cole, because I see people
that play Sea of Thieves. Just remember that. Folks.
Yeah, I see people
don't make me go over there, boy.
And they play it on PC.
I see people all the time enjoying the hell out of games that I may not like on Twitter, and I don't jump into those threads going, "No, you're wrong," and start arguing with them. Look, enjoy what you enjoy.
He jumps in the middle of my opinion instead.
I don't care. No.
Hang on, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on your opinion here.
You know what? Because we're buddies here, and we do that to each other.
And a
okay?
lot
you
of
called me a moron at the beginning of the fucking podcast.
Hey, that's
right?
okay. That's for
I'm gonna stab you in the neck tonight. All right.
Hey, that's a little fucked up, Fonzarelli. You know I got a weak neck. Right. So seriously, guys, I mean, honestly, a lot of what we do and say here is entertainment, and you know, when I'm saying "shut up, Fonz," that's all to make you guys laugh, and I think it works. So again, if that's our opinion on Last of Us 2, let us know yours. It's okay if you disagree. And if you don't disagree, that's cool too. Let us know why in the chat. Let us know why in the comments down below. Shout out to the Indie Gamer and everybody in the chat as well. Cheesy Mo Squeezy. He says you're right on their D, but as long as they tone it, I'm just so fucking tired. Tone it a ton down on their crunch. Oh, so he's talking about their employees and stuff. Yeah, they definitely. I mean, that comes first. That goes without saying. D-Batch definitely agrees with you there. So again, guys, thanks for what you do. Thanks for listening to us talk about Last of Us 2. Everyone's different, but so far I'm enjoying the game. Some others, I know people enjoy the gameplay. It's just a story that seems to get people. And I'm not far enough in to speak on some of that weird stuff, I guess. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the weird stuff. There's something towards the beginning, but I'm like, all right, it sucks, but it does power the rest of the game. But again, let us know your thoughts. And thanks for hitting the like button, guys. 1,200 likes before the end of the show. And subscribe. Show a friend. Do appreciate it, guys. We're going to get out of here. Say some outros. During my outro, which will be the last one, I'll do the patron questions. A few questions. I'll do 2 today. Cold Eastwood, another show, great show. Where can people find you, and what have you been playing?
I've been playing The Last of Us 2. You can find me at Cold Eastwood at Twitter and YouTube, and just thanks everybody for all the support and the feedback. In fact, while we were doing the show, somebody in here gave me some feedback about my intro for my video, so I'm going to make a little tweak there and see how that works. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, it's pretty cool. I mean, most of the feedback that we get is really helpful, and sometimes it isn't helpful. So, I mean, it does not go unnoticed when people reach out and say, "Hey, I like what you're doing," or "Hey, this would be really cool if you did that," and we really appreciate it. It makes everything better for everybody. So, thank you.
Of course, yes. Also, D-Batch, buddy, what have you been playing? Where can we find you, man?
The Last of Us. You can find me on Twitter at D_batch, and of course on YouTube at DBatch. And what I'm going to do is, I guess I'll put it in the chat. I have it's like an almost 2-hour video of The Last of Us 2. Now it's the beginning of the game, so it's before any like huge major spoilers. So you can kind of watch that and get a feel for the story if you're on the fence on it, and it doesn't really give away too much. So I'll leave that in the link. It's in HDR if you have an HDR display. And yeah, it was a great show. I think it's a great game. I think if you're a gamer, you owe it to yourself to at least play the game. And then, if you don't like the game, then whatever, you don't like it. But I think as a gamer, everyone should play this game. I think it's personally a technical masterpiece. I think it's one of the better games ever created, minus, what people don't like about the story.
What was I gonna say? Fuck. God damn it, I forgot. Oh, shout out to the chat here too, because y'all motherfuckers got D-Batch up past 10,000 subscribers.
Yes.
And D-Batch didn't say a goddamn thing.
Thank you guys. Much appreciated.
Look, Tim, I know Tim's ready to get the fuck out of here. Tim, tell people where they can find you.
White Claw.
Tell people where they can find you, Tim, and what you've been playing, buddy, so you can get out of here.
You can find me on Twitter, Xcloud TimDog. I played Control. I'm almost finished with that game. I like it. Just a little bit of a headache of a game. I kind of feel myself lost at times, but I still like it. And I'm playing Madden like crazy. And also trying to get my Destiny light up. Playing single player Destiny 2 single player portion that I guess was just released, or I don't know. I'm playing something. So because every time I play with these guys on people, I'm I'm totally worthless. You have to be a certain light level, I guess, certain things. But overall, really looking forward to July. I'm hearing really good things, so let's hope they produce.
Mike Ortiz. Shout out to Mike Ortiz. All right. Tim, July's gonna be awesome. You're gonna see some really, really good looking stuff. And again, I cannot wait. Fonzarelli, where can people find you, bud? And what have you been playing?
All right, I'm back to Detroit Become Human. I never finished that game.
That board, huh?
So I'm back to that. Yeah, well, you know what? It's a decent game. It is what it is. But I'm back to that game, and after that, I'll check out some games in Game Pass. I heard there was No Man's Sky in there. I never had to buy that, so I'll never have to buy it. I can just try it.
60 frames mode.
So, yeah, exactly, right? So I'm going to try that out as well. And people can find me at The Grounded Gamer here on YouTube. And when you type in my name, even if you type in Grounded Gamer, it actually shows up now. So it's there. So you can follow me there, and also on Twitter at jfonzarelli. So I'll be there, guys, and making videos more consistently, guys. So check me out.
Check Fonz out. He released a video today. When we Hood, buddy, where you been playing? Where can people find you, man?
Well, since I just finished up Last of Us 2, I am going to hop back on Crossfire X and give that beta a little more time here. So it's not bad so far.
Yeah, it's not. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. And you can find me on any gaming platform, including Stadia, at Wilmy Hood. Yes. Yeah, you can even find me on Stadia and Switch. And you can find me on YouTube and every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on Gaming Beyond the Box.
Beyond the Box.
And Dealer, actually, I want to thank you because last week was our 1 year, and thanks to you and the Iron Lords, it was actually a lot of the reasons we're still on YouTube.
Really?
Well, remember, I got a lot of info from you when we started.
Oh, so. Yeah. Well, yeah,
So,
keep it up, man. Your channel's grown.
We really have. It's kind of shocking, but we do some pretty crazy stuff on our show. So
yeah, just keep your clothes on. You'll be all right. I know you got them cameras now.
We do, and we actually had Fork's wife just slap him in the middle of a podcast last week. That was awesome. So
shout out to Fork
That's
Boy's
a reason
face.
to tune in.
Yeah, well, either way, Wimmy, it's always a pleasure to have you, buddy. I know there's a lot of opinions on this show, and I would like to hear a little more from you, but it didn't happen. But you're always welcome. So that's kind of the bright side. Thanks for coming on, buddy. We've also got Zalker, buddy. What have you been playing? Where can people find you?
What's going on, man? Yeah, you guys can find me at Twitter at Zalker87 and on YouTube Zalker87 and in your recommends. Yeah, I'm playing a lot of Last of Us 2, Sea of Thieves, and Minecraft Dungeons. I've been playing those three are the primary games I'm playing. Minecraft's a lot of freaking fun. Dungeons, I'm on the hardest difficulty, almost done with it, hopefully. And then Last of Us 2, enjoying the gameplay and seeing how that goes. And then Sea of Thieves new content update, brought a bunch of new shit out, and just enjoying that, man. I'm in the top 1% of emissaries, and I play it once a week. So yeah, stealing a lot of shit, having fun.
You're playing it for 20 hours once a week, yeah.
Bro, we literally just don't stop because we'll be like, all right, let's call it a night, and then we'll see a ship sail by, and we're like, fuck, let's go get them. Like we do, and then like
sea of assholes. Yeah.
Oh, dude, we're the biggest pieces of shit in the world. I literally, honestly, I'm just a terrible human.
Is that a megalodon? Game. Oh, that's Zalker, big old piece of shit floating in the water.
I am, dude. Like people see it, and dude, oh man, the worst of these people. I'm sorry. Last week, these people were waving at us and being nice, and they're like, "Hi, mates," and we just. Oh man, it was bad.
He told me I only fucked him up, man, because they were from the UK. They called us mate. I was like, what the fuck, bro? Why?
No, I just took them out because fuck it. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's a fun game, everybody. Yeah, and chat, you guys are awesome, and you guys can find me here on RDX because this is best podcast, man. Love doing it.
Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then
what's that in biscuit time?
That's everybody, right? I've been playing Last of Us 2. I've also been playing Star Wars Battlefront 2, as you see here. Shout out to Obi-Wan. We need to squad up more people, Darge Knight and whoever else. Shout out to Lethal, Obi, Lethal, the best moderator in the universe, and everyone else mod in the chat. You guys are awesome. Shout out to the chat themselves. You power the show. You make everything what it is. I say it over and over, and I mean it. That's why I say it. I don't like saying the same shit over and over, and I do say that, so it means something to me. And let me go ahead and, beside that, we've been just having fun, man, doing the show, doing our thing. Let me give a shout out and read the questions on Patreon here. DMs every week. We'll be doing this at the end here. Anybody wants to leave, you can go ahead and leave. I ain't trying to hold any of you up. But Snake Eyes 23 on Patreon says, do you think Xbox will take shots at Sony in July with the tag line games play best on Series X, 60 FPS or 120 FPS? I actually do think they will take some shots, Snake Eyes, and I can't wait to see it. Also, god damn it, Bad Boy Live. I knew this shit was going to be a novel. Shout out to Christian Cage as well. He says, what surprises games-wise, should we expect in July's actual conference broadcast? I would say, I'm going to cut it down, man, for time's sake. I'm gonna say that surprise-wise, I'm not sure on that, but expect the stuff that we've been talking about, Fable, etc., all that good stuff. And I'll do one more. KY Bob, we'll try to get yours next week, buddy. Nano Polymathy says, all come together for a great show and fun. Thanks to everyone on the panel and the mods for making time, as always, for their, taking time out away from their loved ones and everybody involved. Thanks for bringing us all together. Thanks for bringing us a great show. Thank you so much, Nano. Do appreciate it, brother. You're always there as well. Shout out to all the patrons. That link's down below. 3 this week, guys. I'll try to do maybe an extra one next week. And then we got Juddy Daniels, who just became a channel member. Shout out to all you guys as well. Over 100 there. Do appreciate it. Black Mamba. We'll wrap it up. Since you guys let Zalker talk, I'll support the channel. LOL. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah.
Actually, you should take $5 from us for letting Zalker talk. So, yeah.
Hey, man, what the hell?
I want to go ahead and say thanks to everybody checking us out, guys. Again, share it out, hit the like button. We do appreciate it. Links down below. Patreon, channel membership, subscribe, bell icon. Support these guys. Go to their channels and watch their stuff. And I guess we're gonna call it. That's kind of our
skedaddle.
I hate you, Fonza, really.
I hate Fonz.
I really hate Fonza. Okay, we're out, guys.
Bye, all you cat and kitten.
See you later. Cool.